Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Batwoman at Season 3, Episode 12. We are all mad here. This is the penultimate episode, right? Which is crazy. We've had 2 weeks off. I have missed this show. I am stressed. Let's jump straight into it. But before we do, a reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon. You get those 2 weeks in advance. Nope. You can just find it on my Patreon, 2 weeks in advance is for the shows that have all aired. But the thing I did want to say, which is where I think my brain got muddled, is as we are nearing the end of the month, just as always, signing up to my Patreon or anybody's Patreon, just be aware that with Patreon you get charged the day you sign up, and then again on the first of the month, and it doesn't matter how close together those two are. I think there's like a tiny bit of leeway, but I wouldn't risk it. So yes, just be aware of that, and then let's go.
Play.
Alice. I'm very confused.
Hello, little friend.
Okay, she's definitely not finding that so easily.
Oh my god.
I was Alice.
Alice, I don't think it would work like that for you. What is happening? Because this cannot be real. Am I the only confused person here?
I feel like Beth again.
This isn't real. Is Alice having a dream? If it is good that she wants to be Beth again, but it's not good that she wants to skip all the hard work that she needs to do. I'm so confused.
It is our recommendation to the courts that the criminal charges are dropped and Miss Kane be released.
This isn't real. It's far too easy.
We can no longer deem her clinically insane.
And yet again, this would be her completely avoiding all of the difficult parts.
Apologies. Changed their mind about you. But that doesn't change the truth.
It still was a selfish move.
It's fried, Alice. It's dead.
Still calling her Alice.
You just need it to be found.
I would love that to be true, but you need to do the work.
I don't think you deserve a happy ending.
This is deep down her feelings, which... If you earn your redemption, you will deserve a happy ending. Plus, you didn't get Ocean killed. But Alice, if you do the work, if you work to redeem yourself, if you try and make an effort, and you don't help people lose themselves to insane infections and things, then maybe we could earn you fucking redemption. But this is healthier. I mean, it's not fun, but she's feeling the pain. That is healthier. I do want to believe that her visions and things are a result of her empathy coming back. But she needs to make the right choices now. She's made all the wrong ones so far.
Leave me alone! Get away from me, Alice!
Then do the work! I mean, this is in a lot of ways an important step. But just thinking you could take the joy buzzer when it's the only thing we could use to try and protect the city from another person.
Sugar, dear?
It's always where you gotta check who's in. Why did she have a key to Ryan's house?
There's only one buzz left. Exactly. So, why are we still standing here?
Think about your vision.
Ryan needs it. Why didn't you stop me?
Yeah.
A real sister would have stopped me before I killed someone.
Oh, Mary.
You think this is my fault?
It is.
That was all you. Poison Mary.
She fucking chained herself up to a table. You noticed it was happening weeks before, okay? Mary does need to accept some degree of culpability, and there's a lot of questions we could have on that subject, and I think she has been. But Alice hasn't once expressed being sorry for the fact that she ensured Mary turned, ensured Mary changed. I'm sure she thought, oh, I'll be along for the ride with her this whole time. We'll just run over this guy on the floor, but I'll stop Mary from killing anyone other than the guy. Alice needs to accept culpability, and otherwise her want to be Beth, I don't buy it.
I was there for you, making sure
No, you made sure it happened to her.
there for me.
Thank you.
Advantage of me.
Thank you, because it's true.
Hated me. And their life is ruined and my life is ruined.
Mary is allowed to feel this. But Alice, take responsibility and accountability.
Get the hell out of here.
Because Alice has never once actually apologised to Mary for her role in any of it, and I'm so glad Mary is finally articulating things, and I'm terrified that it is going to end up being Mary apologising to Alice without Alice apologising back.
And if we don't get our hands on that joy buzzer and use it on him soon,
You were okay with him killing God knows how many people as long as he didn't hurt
If
you.
you had treated him like a criminal and not your precious baby boy, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Kind
to
of
begin
agree.
with. Maybe we were the owner of an art gallery in the Bowery and Jim Gordon's ex-wife.
As in Commissioner Gordon?
I
Yeah,
recognize the
apparently they used to
name.
dine with Gotham's upper crust.
whatever you need.
She's so obvious. Stop her and ask her what she knows. She clearly knows a lot. And she's still not working with us.
That was weird, right?
Come on, Ryan, my love. I know you're easily blinded by wanting to start a relationship with your mum. That's so
Give me 2
normal.
minutes. Why didn't you tell Ryan that Barbara Keene is part of the Black Glove Society?
This doesn't need to
Ooh.
involve Ryan. I'm trying to do what's right.
Well, you need to be honest with Ryan. She's an adult. She's not like a 12-year-old.
You're not even giving her a chance.
Rich people are so trusting. I mean, a lot of people are, but you just assume that's going to be a good current. Oh, Mary.
Hi.
Can I help?
I'm not selling anything.
Oh, I'm stressed.
Mary
I'm proud of her, but what's she going to do?
Sorry to. I believe I have information pertaining to your husband's death.
Come in.
Mary, I love you. I'm scared for you. I'm proud of you. And feeling a lot of different things for you. And oh.
I'm not listening to you.
Then just walk away and go and start doing the hard work. But even in her vision, it was clear that what was happening with her stealing the joy buzzer wasn't right. But she still thought it was all fine because she got her happy ending. Alice.
With cranberry leather interior.
And even like the way the psychologist, like they were talking about like how she was a victim, it explains so much of it. But in the same way that Mary is currently trying to take some kind of accountability for what she did when it wasn't her fault, Alice has to do the same, and she never has.
Or rare. Weren't you wearing that yesterday?
Oh, she didn't have time to go home.
Just tell him.
Okay, got it.
I've ever dealt with.
Oh my god. Yeah, no loyalty. Oh my god, it was literally in her pocket.
It's in her pocket.
Let's see if I can't change your mind.
Oh god. No, the Joker was responsible for the bus crash that knocked their car off the bridge, wasn't he?
Now, in honor of tradition,
Oh
I'd
shit.
commence with roll call.
I mean, they're not exactly good people, but
The person to your left.
I don't like the Black Glove Society, but this is...
We having fun yet?
Come on, Alice, this could be the beginning of a redemption arc.
Discover he was born.
Oh my
Getting
god.
this right so far. That's
How are there this many kids in this place, all from these prominent families, that are prominent supervillain bees?
Clinical trials and all. This
Thing is, trying to stop someone from becoming a serial killer or whatever isn't the worst.
medicine you've given him.
Oh lord. Maybe starting a secret society to hide your evil children instead of dealing with them is not the right response. You gonna do something to try and stop it,
This
Alice?
sort of thing, kind of like your Super Bowl.
Because
Revenge,
you don't
flair,
deserve redemption if you just
fun
chill
little
and
wheels
watch
and make it a
when there is no
game.
knife to your throat or any threat on you right now.
You don't deserve that. Plain and simple.
I don't even necessarily know that Marcus deserves it.
Confusing.
But right now, Alice at least is not currently going around murdering people. She's currently feeling a little bit hesitant about it, although she's called her to watch murders and not jumping in there to stop something. But at least if we do it to Marcus, the threat would be neutralised, whereas Alice is no longer already a threat.
You think you can just walk away from that? Erase it?
You need to work through everything.
So,
Is she going to finally start to try and do something? Oh, Mary.
Right.
Or is the son going to come downstairs and start screaming?
So,
it's very brave of you, Mary, to come here, considering your stepsister took his life.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry, what?
Woman claiming to be Alice. She owned up to the murder.
Okay, well, Alice...
Still confirming all the facts, but...
So Alice is trying to make things right for Mary without actually talking to Mary. That is a nice step in a sense, trying to take the blame so the family don't have the questions, don't have questions anymore, the families have answers and everything. But Mary, you should have talked to her about it. That is sort of a tick in Alice's direction, but it also still shows you how much work she's got to do.
It adds...
Oh, Mary, it's up to you.
Yes.
Because it wasn't you.
That.
Is it almost Alice taking the culpability for it because deep down she has realised that she fucked up with Mary? But then the important thing you do is you tell Mary that. You apologise to Mary. You need to do the hard stuff. And the hardest thing to do is not to phone up and take responsibility for another murder. It's to face the person you have hurt and tell them the truth. In a way, this answer would be the one that will give the family the most peace, because it's almost a black and white situation. Evil woman killed my husband. Whereas if Mary told them the truth that it was her, but it wasn't really her, it would just cause all that more pain and confusion on what's real and what's not. When they've had this answer that gives them such peace. Alice is a complicated person, but she just needs to start doing the work more. Tiny steps aren't enough anymore.
For her, not a big deal. Maybe a little bit of a deal, though.
Parked on the edge of a cemetery on the other side of Gotham U.
Oh no, just find Alice. Just hanging out. And if she does something now, she still did nothing while 3 people got murdered. Or is it everyone but Jada that's dead at this point? And Alice has done nothing. Oh my god.
Welcome to the club, Jada Jet.
Come on, Alice, zap him with it.
All mad here.
Finally! I mean, okay, I should have paused a minute to be like, finally, Alice, thank God. But also, you couldn't have stepped in to do this before we'd murdered like 6 people. But this is a step. This is a huge step, and she's going to get the buzzer, and then is she going to do it to herself, or is she going to do it to him? Well, I want her to have to make the choice.
This is how you thank me? You could be the Harley to my Joker.
Why don't you be the Harley to her Joker?
I think you have that backwards.
2003.
I've been wondering ever since they said he was on a school bus and that it was a school bus that Joker was chasing when they went over the bridge. And I've always wondered if it was the same school bus.
Out of nowhere, terrified, but acting all brave.
He was such a sweet kid.
Looked down at
We're on the bus that drove my mom's car off the bridge.
Alice, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
It is not some twisted fate. No.
You and I were born on the same. Today's your birthday.
Alice, is she going to do the right thing? Because that will be a huge tick in her direction.
What if I were to give you something that would make the Joker?
That's not yours.
I really thought Alice was going to try and use it on him, and I was going to be so proud.
We need it for Marcus.
Could Marcus possibly be murdering people?
Jada, the one.
Yes.
That is so unfair.
You don't deserve it, Alice. Your actions today have proven that. You're not willing to do the hard work. And I would also argue that Marcus doesn't deserve it. So if we had a Marcus who was beginning to see the error of his ways and was beginning to be repentant or whatever, was at a similar point in like a redemption journey that Alice is, I would also argue he doesn't deserve it if there was a third person. But right now, for Marcus, it is Marcus is going to kill people, or flip the switch, Marcus is not going to kill people. We should give it to Marcus. It is Alice is going to wander around being insane and hurting people, but she's no longer killing people because she's kind of starting the redemption journey, but she's just decided it's a bit hard and she doesn't want to do it, so she's going to give it to her, or we don't give it. Like, that is why Alice, like, Marcus doesn't deserve it. You know, all the way Alice is thinking, like, do I deserve it? Neither of you deserve it in that way. Maybe you even deserve it more than him, or maybe you deserve it the same way if you think about it in that way, because you were both just kids who were traumatized by events outside of your control. But I really genuinely thought in that moment she was going to try and trick him and do it, use it on him. I was really like, oh my god, is this going to be the moment Alice begins the real work of redemption? Oh, okay, I think I'm so harsh and critical of Alice because I have such hope for her that she constantly lets me down. And even the tiny amount of, like, she did a good deed for Mary, it doesn't make up for everything else she did. Maybe do the work, Alice. Arkham isn't the answer for anyone, but you've still committed a lot of crimes.
I'm a victim, that you feel sorry for me?
I don't feel sorry for you.
Feel sorry for the little boy you were.
When I first learned
Wilder, for example.
That's not hope.
Your ass alongside mom.
that's enough.
Jesus Christ.
Don't make me do this, Marcus.
What are you gonna do? Shoot your own son?
You're not my son.
Shoot him in the leg? Bit late for this, but it's better than nothing. Even then, she didn't even shoot him in the leg, which, I mean, she's his mom. I don't blame her for not being able to shoot him.
I told you to run. Nice try, baby girl.
Ryan deserves this, but I still don't know if I trust her all the way. And Jada also needs to answer for the fact that she just tried to cover up Marcus rather than get him institutionalized, which sucks. No mother wants it, but it stops him hurting people.
The person I'm interested in doesn't want the same thing.
She does. It was just all a little sudden. But this is so healthy, talking about these feelings and these fears and not just bottling them up and saying it's all fine.
I was hiding. Not from Luke, from myself. Because every time I get something good...
This is so healthy!
Well, that's not gonna happen this time.
Nope.
You're
Or
gonna
else.
make me your mom, aren't you?
Do I need to remind you what happened the night I met your mom? You owe me big time. Other stuff that...
Oh. I love this. This was so important because they're starting a really beautiful relationship, and despite all the hurdles they've both faced in their lives, they're being open and honest about their feelings and their insecurities, and it's just going to build such a healthy, beautiful bond that's going to shine.
Marcus ditched the roles.
Mary's onto it.
Are you two? Hang on. Wait.
Oh, Mary's got a spark in her heart again.
My God, you are, aren't you?
Luke is still clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're officially a thing.
Oh, Mary's happy again for her friends.
I can't remember the last time I heard good news, so
You okay right now?
No. She just needed good news.
how did I not know?
Get out yet? We're never gonna leave you.
Do the work! You didn't do it today.
You have to get me out of here.
You need to do the work. Please apologise for your actions. Your work, your deeds are doing it like more of the way. Like, I'm much happier with you in that regard than I was at the beginning of the episode. But apologise.
I know you're trying.
Keep trying.
Sorry, Mary.
Thank you.
It's okay.
That's such a good first step.
Really sorry.
Oh no, she's sorry for what she told Marcus. Or for what she did to Mary. Oh, she gave him the back cave. God, with Alice, it really is one step forward, 753,285.6 steps back. Oh, good. So, Alice, I am feeling a range of emotions with Alice. I will start by giving her the praise that I do think she deserves in this episode, which is that she took the blame for the man Mary killed. And I think in a little bit of a way that is partly her trying to protect Mary because she does care about her, which is a good sign. Her doing something that doesn't benefit her in any way to protect Mary. This is one of the first times she's done that in a while. Or at least, you know, she's done a lot of things to protect Mary that benefited her a lot more along the way as well. I think it also partly shows that she does feel a degree of guilt and culpability for Mary being in that situation in the first place. It is kind of like I said, it's watching somebody spike your friend's drink and then encouraging your friend to drink the spiked drink, then saying, why don't you drive home? Here's the keys, have fun. That is what she did, essentially. And then Mary would have hit someone with the car. You know, Mary was out of it, drugged, not her own sane mind, but still feeling the blame. So I do have a lot of respect for Alice doing that one thing because it didn't benefit her in any way, shape or form, but it was a thing. I wish she had told Mary she was sorry. I can kind of understand how when Mary was kind of having that outburst of like, it's all your fault, I think Mary obviously is dealing with a lot herself, and Alice coming to her and being like, I need you to do my best, I need you to get this for me, I need that, I need this, I need that, and Mary is like, you literally just destroyed my life. I don't blame Mary for that outburst whatsoever, because she's human, and Alice still hasn't apologised. At the end, I was maybe like, is she actually apologising? And she was just apologising for something else. I still, you know, I think Alice's actions have shown that she's aware of her culpability. It would have been nice to have her say that to Mary. Alice has definitely been so while I'm pleased with her in that regard. She has been a character that has for a very long time now, like this is season 3, we're nearly at the end of season 3. Alice has been a character who has said, I want to change, or I'm not so bad really. Does one tiny thing that is a little bit redemption-y, like helps Kate out, or, you know, does this nice thing for Mary. Meanwhile, she's running around everywhere else doing things selfishly, you know. She's not a killer anymore in the sense that I think in a fight she would not necessarily not kill, but, you know, she holds back. She's not just a rampant murderer like she used to be. But at the end of the day, she just sat there while Marcus killed 5 people, and it was, oh, was it, I don't know, 4 people, however many it was, and then only intervened when he revealed the joy buzzer. You know, she had so much time there just casually watching him murder people, and it doesn't matter if they are good people or bad people. In a lot of ways, they are people that probably ought to go to prison themselves for their crimes. I don't know the details of all of their lives. But regardless, they didn't deserve to die, just like neither Alice nor Marcus deserved to die. Alice is at this point where she's saying she wants, in her own fucking vision, Ryan was still not forgiving her because she took the buzzer that they needed for Marcus. Now, I agree, if you just take them at face value, who is more, I still think that even if you just take them as face value, 2 kids who got messed up on that day, Marcus needs it more and deserves it more, because for Marcus it was as literally as simple as flip. For Alice, it was many years of trauma, partially with choices she's made along the way. Yes, Enigma played a huge part, but she's continued to do a lot of dodgy things since, and I think for me the biggest issue is that Alice never ever admits that she's wrong. You know, and if you put that in comparison with Mary, who, in my opinion, really, her culpability for everything that happened as Poison Mary was very small. It was very much largely the infection's fault and Alice's fault for enabling it. But Mary still took that blame. She was going to tell those people that she killed. She was probably going to try and explain it, and she was going to end up telling them that that's what happened, that I killed your husband and I didn't mean to. She went there. She felt the guilt of the one man she accidentally killed when she wasn't in her own right mind and was not in control of her actions. That guilt she was carrying with her every day, and the idea that that family couldn't move on because they didn't know what happened. And she was willing to risk everything to try and solve that. Yes, it is a good thing that Alice helped her in that regard, gave the family the peace they needed, accepted her own culpability within it to a degree, but it really just shows you the way Mary felt that grief over the way Alice is like, but I'm a victim, it's not my fault. And it's like, yes, you are a victim. In a lot of ways, you are the kind of character that I could see be redeemed and be okay with you being redeemed regardless of how many people you've hurt. But you have to feel the sorriness, and she never does. It's always like, yes, but I was a victim first, therefore everything I've ever done is totally fine. And it's not as clean cut as that, especially as even post Enigma she's making dodgy choices. She needs, like, I really thought she was gonna, I got so hopeful in the middle there. I thought she's gonna zap Marcus with the buzzer. I was wondering what would happen in the finale, but, you know, I was thinking, oh, or I was at least thinking she's gonna try and zap it. But no, she literally told him how to get into the Batcave, screwing over her sister, screwing over both her sisters, technically speaking, screwing over all these people that she claims that she's not as evil as they think she is, to get what she wanted. You know, there comes a point where you have to earn your way through. Mary did the work for her redemption, regardless of whether she deserved to do it or not. She was there. She was literally about to say it was her. She was going to own up to it. She as good as did own up to it. In the sense that it wasn't like she faltered and she couldn't get the words out and she was like, oh, I need to leave. And then the woman was like, oh, it was your sister. She was interrupted her from saying it was me. Alice has never done the work ever. Now, what I am beginning to be hopeful for with Alice is Snore. Season 4 will be about Alice doing the work. She's very aware that the work needs to be done. We're truly seeing for the first time her continually articulate that she doesn't want to be Alice, she wants to be Beth. But it is not as simple as flipping a switch. The part of the reason why I would say Marcus deserves the joy buzzer more than Alice is because the joy buzzer is the thing. It is the thing that flipped the switch one way, so it flipped the switch back. You know, it's Alice, the joy buzzer wasn't responsible for Alice. It's not as simple as that. If we had Enigma was capable of doing one thing to turn somebody back into their original pre-trauma self, I would be like, well, that should be Alice, really, although Marcus is currently murdering. You know, Alice, I can't believe it. I thought this was going to be the moment. I thought they were building up to it being the moment where Alice finally did the right thing for once in her life. But no, she allowed him to murder as many people as he felt like. Even when she left, having told him where the Batcave was, he could have murdered Jada. He just didn't have the joy buzzer to use on her, but he still could have frozen her or whatever. But Alice was like, oh, well, nice to see you all, I'm off. I genuinely cannot believe it. Like, the level of bad choices that she's continuing to make. She needs to do the work. Now, I believe being locked up in Arkham right now is the right thing for Alice. But I preface that with saying that I think Arkham needs systemic change, should not exist, should be made into a genuine psychiatric care facility and not Arkham. But Alice is an unstable criminal psychopath who has killed many people. And has not expressed remorse for it. Anytime someone's like, but do you feel sorry for what you've done? Alice goes, oh, I was a victim first. And it's like, both of those things can be true. You were a victim first, and I do think that, in my opinion, if she were to truly do the work and truly try to redeem herself and truly try to atone for what she's done or feel the weight of what she's done and feel sorry for it, I would support her being treated more leniently as she changes and grows. I'm not saying lock Alice up and throw away the key if she does the work, but it is not as simple as deserving an on-off switch. So I'm so proud of Mary. I do wonder what would have happened if she'd, I think in a lot of ways, if she'd said, oh no, it wasn't Alice, it was me. But it wasn't me. I was under the poison ivy spell, but it wasn't me. It would have been a lot more confusing for them. Yes, it may well have ended her up in prison, but regardless for the family, they had a clean-cut answer. Evil psychopath lady killed my husband. She even confessed. I think in a weird way it gave them peace. Knowing what happened and who was responsible gives you a degree of peace. Knowing it was an accident by somebody that isn't really evil, I feel like that causes a whole load more feelings. So I don't blame Mary for not taking away that peace from them at risk to herself, especially when we all know deep down, not even deep down, we all know that Alice is more responsible than Mary in that moment, in my opinion. And it's like when Alice was saying, I was protecting you. Yeah, sure, you thought I'll be by her side every second of every day. We'll run over this dude, but it's been not. I have a lot of questions with Alice. So basically in season 4, we are long overdue Alice beginning to actually do the work she needs to do to grow as a person, to become more like Beth. We are so long overdue that I'm growing tired of it. And I was ready to jump on that train with Alice. I thought she's going to try and press that thing to Marcus's head. Lift off, we made it, we're here. And then Alice was like, oh, I actually have not got on the train myself. No, I'm not getting that train. I'll catch a different train. So over it. The happiest thing in the world for me is Mary finally having, I think Mary's over-the-top reaction to there being good news between Ryan and Sophie truly was, because there has been nothing good in their lives for so long now. It has been doom and gloom and misery and suffering, and this was just one pure moment of two people getting to be happy together that I'm really glad we got to see that spark in Mary's eyes again. And I'm also proud of her for going to see Alice. It would have been easy for her to think, oh, she's locked up, let's move on. Then we have, we're seeing Luke in the Batwing suit. I hope he's done the work he's needed to do as well, but I'm proud of him as well. Marcus, again, like he's a fantastic villain. He's another one of those types of villains this show is good at, where the man he is now, lock him up, throw away the key. The boy he was, incredibly brave, incredibly sweet. I hope we can save him for the child's sake. And he's another villain with the interesting questions of what does it mean if your brain is altered but you do the thing, is it your fault? Again, with him, his brain has been altered and he's very aware that his brain has been altered and he's continued to do the bad things. So I feel like he's further along the culpability scale than someone like Mary was. But I still think that there is a hope for redemption for him down the line, but we will see. Him having the Batcave is awful and terrifying. Then we have Ryan and Sophie, and they are so cute. I am so happy for them. They deserve all the happiness in the world. And I think my favourite thing with how they're portraying their relationship is that it's not all going smoothly and perfectly, but it's happening in a way that feels kind of real. It feels earned that these two have found their way to each other, and they're having the honest conversations. Like, there were moments in this episode, sure, where Sophie went, oh no, it's fine, and sat there very clearly not being fine, and Ryan was like, clearly not fine. But I love that at the end, when they had that moment of calmness, because really if they'd got into it all in the car when they were on their way to try and stop Marcus murdering people, it was not the time. But when they have that moment of peace, you know, we're in between battles, we have this breather, I think it's so important to take those moments and to seize them and to use them. It's also really important that they both kind of let their guards down fully, because they want this to be a real relationship. You know, Sophie said, well, I've been in the closet for so long and I've never had an open relationship, and I'm scared that you're going to want this to be another secretive relationship. And Ryan said, well, I'm just really scared that if I start making this real, if I tell people it's real, it becomes more real, and then if it all goes wrong and I lose you, it's going to be even worse. I think that was so necessary for these two characters, and it's a real sign of a healthy relationship that's going to grow into something even more beautiful before our eyes. So this is a very good episode, another frustrating episode in some ways. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.